North Central defeats La Crosse in round 3, 35-27. We have head coach Brad Spencer, Donovan McNeil, JP Sullivan, and Rahmareon Roby. Brad, comments about the game to start, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, thanks. Excited, to have 7 more days. I mean, that's really the only thing that matters is continuing to go on. And guys did a nice job playing 4 quarters of football. We knew it was going to be a 4-quarter game. La Crosse is certainly used to playing 4-quarter games in their league, if you're looking at scores. So, at the end of the game, nothing surprising. What happened, I thought our guys kept fighting, kept playing. Had an opportunity, I think, coming out of the half with the football to perhaps put the game away or at least lengthen the lead and make things a little bit harder for them and just weren't able to sustain there. And then from there, it was a dogfight, which credit to them and their coaching staff. They do a great job. But overall, really proud of our guys. It's a really good football team that's well coached. So to be moving on, like I said, that's really the only thing that matters.
Brad, I'll get the one negative question out of the way first. I can't remember in memory anybody having a day on the stat sheet like 19, went out there and did over the middle on some pretty similar routes. What were you seeing that was allowing them to exploit that, and what do you think is going to be the conversation about trying to make sure that that's not a thing that's able to be done again by whoever's up next?
Yeah, you always know, game to game, they're going to look at the ways that other teams hurt you. I thought both offense and defensively they did that, and as the game went, we saw it and made adjustments. I mean, certainly the receivers and the quarterback are really good. They're good up front. They're good at running back. So there's going to be plays made either way, and at the end of the day, you can throw all kinds of coverages and front set a team, but if a quarterback's able to see it and distribute the football, somebody's open. It's the hardest thing about defensive football is you can't cover the whole field. You're always weak somewhere. And if the quarterback has time, he's going to find it if he's any good, and their guy is. So, I think it's just continuing to work what we can control and work in technique and discipline. I mean, every week your game plan is going to be different. Sure, schemes show up week to week, but in terms of tendencies and things you do, it'll be a totally different look next week. So, not really too concerned about that, just more concerned about week to week, you got to continue to get a little bit better, and I thought they did a good job of sustaining some drives. Coming into the game, we really wanted to win third down and red zone, and we did that. We won the turnover battle. Those are usually going to equal wins in December.
Speaking of the turnover battle, I do want to ask you about the game Mari had. Obviously, he had a pick in that crazy game a couple of years ago up in La Crosse. Gets 2 more against them today. A pick in the end zone, a pick 6 that really changed the game. Just what did you make of what he was able to do out there today, having 6 or 7 tackles as well?
That's why he's a captain. I mean, simple as that. I really don't know what else you want me to say. They were great plays. The one before half I thought was just pivotal. You want to win, that middle 8. We won the first part of it. We didn't win the second part of it. So we'll work on that this week, of course. But that was a huge play. I mean, you're looking at potentially, a 14-point swing if they continue to drive. But, that's why he's a captain.
I'll go down the table here. I guess, Donovan, start with you. Not able to go last week, kind of on a pitch clock of sorts today, and end up, averaging 17 yards a carry anyway. Curious what your mindset was going into today, knowing that you were only going to get so many carries and then still being able to do a lot with those limited carries.
Just playing like I'm not hurt, because nobody's really 100% after the first game. So just keep on grinding, and no matter how I feel, like if I can't go, don't go. But if I'm 90% healthy, just keep on going.
And then JP, you guys on the front, thought it was interesting down the stretch. It almost seemed like you guys were getting more pressure with 3 or 4 rather than the blitzing plays. What was that battle like for you guys against their offensive line, who are certainly bigger guys than you've seen for a lot of this season?
Yeah, it was definitely our best test all year. Credit to their coaching staff and their guys up front. But our big emphasis on this week was contain and just to win.
And then curious, against a team that's so kind of so pass heavy like today was we see you get that one, I think it was on a third down, that one knockdown with your left hand. Is there what are you watching for on those plays? What helps your instinct in knowing when you're able to get your hand in? Because I think that was your 6th pass breakup of the season, which is a lot for a defensive tackle.
Yeah, we practice it all the time in practice, and we visualize it. We do it in walkthrough, even when it doesn't matter, and just falling back on our training.
And Mari, I mean, this is, Brad talked about it's, showing why you're captains. Your 2nd pick 6 of the season. I guess, we heard before you came in here that Kyle Haas wasn't sure how you picked that ball off and ran it the other way. So I'm just curious, on a play like that where you've shifted inside almost to an outside linebacker position, if you can take us through what happened for you on that play with showing a blitz, dropping off, and then ending up in the position to make that play.
Just being put in those situations in practice, 2-minute situations, stack situations where I'm at, backer, just dropped into coverage and I was just trying to do my job, and I seen the quarterback step up, and I went to pull up to protect him from scrambling, and the rest of that I just kind of was reacting. So it's a credit to these guys, to the guys up front. They really put pressure on him and allowed me to make a play.
And then just generally speaking, obviously, you guys did a pretty good job today. I think there was only one defensive pass interference or holding type penalty. How do you think a matchup like today, where you're going against big, physical, talented receivers at a lot of spots, how do you think that's going to be helpful for you guys going forward, having faced the test you faced today?
It's just a great opportunity to go against those guys, and we go against the best receiving core in the country every day in practice. So it's not like it's something we're not used to. So just falling back on our training and relying on each other and doing our job. That's the most important thing we can do. So.
And I've got another one for you, Rahmareon, excuse me. The pick 6. Can you tell me a little bit about the emotion of that play, especially streaking down the sideline? You guys, coach decided not to use the timeouts there to try to get the ball back, but you guys make a play defensively, get the score right before halftime, flips the momentum on its head, and it looked like you guys had a great time on the sideline afterwards celebrating.
Just grateful for it. Grateful for God, putting me in that position to make that play, and, just grateful I could do that for my guys, for the seniors, for everyone on this team. We work so hard every single day, and that's the type of things we deserve, is to come out and make plays and support each other and pick someone up if someone's not doing well, and offense picks the defense up, defense picks the offense up. So just complimenting each other and falling back on our training and just playing hard for the guys next to you.
Other questions?
This is for you, Coach. I want to talk about the onside kick. I think there was about 5.5 minutes left. It was a 2-score game. To me, up in the press box, it felt like a very pivotal play. What went wrong with that onside kick? Was there spin on the ball? It looked like the guys were hesitant to jump up on it and maybe recover it that way.
Yeah, it was they really executed that well. I felt like our guys were prepared for it, and then he put some really good spin on that thing. Anytime it's short, you have calls to back up and let it be illegally touched or go out of bounds, and it just kind of kept trickling. It was a perfect kick. Typically they're either right into the box or they're short, and so you can make quick, easy decisions. Guys can block, guys can recover it. But when it's short like that, you're typically allowing it to fall dead and have illegal touching. And you just gotta give credit to that. Honestly, the kicker. I don't think the other 10 guys really did anything. It was the kicker who did a great job, and he's superb. He's like our guy. He's a Fred Mitchell, semifinalist, and he did a great job on it. They really capitalized on that. I thought they capitalized on a couple of pivotal plays the same way we did, and you're going to have that at this point of the playoffs and in our region. The teams that we're playing are very good. I think that's proven out over time. It's going to be 4 quarters. You're going to have to go to the next play, make the next play. Some of the big plays you're going to make, some of them you're not. And I think we'll look at the film tomorrow and be really proud of the guys for the plays they made. Mari's play certainly is absolutely outstanding. And, all 3 of these guys here just did a really great job of executing, and Donovan on a kind of a pitch count. And JP, in my opinion, getting held just about every single play, and it was never called. I don't know how we've gone a whole year and he's barely had any holding calls on him. He's the best D lineman in the country. But it continues to happen. So he's going to fight through it. It's not a controllable. We kind of know it's going to happen. You just deal with it, and you move on. The onside kick, hey, they got it, great, move on. Move on. Wipe the windshield clean and go on to the next play. Control your controllables. And worry a little bit less about the result and just worry about what you need to do on the next play to have a better process and play better. And I thought the guys did that, over the course of the game. Yeah, you feel on the last play of the game, it doesn't matter. They score and you feel trashy about it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we won by 14 points. Yeah, the scoreboard says 7, but it is what it is. The game was over. So I'm not going to let our guys feel bad about that. Obviously, our defense is used to, less scores on the scoreboard. But you got to understand when you're playing quality teams, Coach Janis does a great job. It's going to be a battle. And so embrace that, embrace being the man in the arena, embrace the challenges, and go on and make the next play. And I thought our defense, did some good things even after that. So it was a hell of a kick. I mean, it was just really cool. And I've seen Aiden do really cool things before with his foot that I don't understand how humans do things with their foot like that. So just give credit to him. I mean, I don't know how many times out of 10 you make that perfect kick like that, and you give him credit, competitive excellence. He did it right then when he needed to. The same way Donnie had 12 carries and did what he did, and the same way JP did what he did, and the same way Mari made the plays he did. Competitive excellence. Your best players step up in the moments when you need them to be their best. And I think for the most part today, our guys did that.
Yeah, Brad, talk about the ability of this team to bounce back. La Crosse made plays. There was that onside kick. Just talk about that and kind of how that impacted the outcome of the game.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we had the opportunity to do that a little bit more this game than we have in maybe some previous games. So it's good for our guys to be in those situations and have to feel feelings that maybe they're not typically used to feeling. The reality is you just got to go to the next play. Like, a football game's a long game. It's 60 minutes, and there's all kinds of ebbs and flows. There's all kinds of ups and downs. Just like with these guys in life, we teach them, you don't want to make life-changing decisions based on a one-moment feeling. It's the same thing in a football game. Don't let your brain wander somewhere based on a feeling that you're having right here. Just go back to your technique. Go back to what you've been coached and go on to the next play. For us to think that we're going to show up to a playoff game and win 52-0 and have every play go perfectly is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to have our guys feel that way, because it's not going to happen. We want to go out and play close games. We want to play good teams. You want to have to make plays in big moments. Like, that's the fun of it. That's like last week with Hanover. Hey guys, it's snowing 8 inches. We can't get the field shoveled fast enough because we're on a floodplain and there's rocks underneath and we can't bring a plow on the field. We have to do it by hand. Okay, awesome. Let's go play. Let's do this. Let's find a way. And everybody that was doing the shovel, I mean, they worked their asses off. They did everything they could. Our president was out there. Cool, let's go play in the snow. That's what we did as kids, and I show guys pictures of me playing with my brother in the snow when we were like, this is what you dream of, to play lacrosse here from a really good conference and, have it be a 4-quarter game. Cool, let's do it. I'm not going to be upset, of course, if we score in the third quarter and we're up a few scores and it seems a little easier, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to play football and, play good football teams and have fun with it. And it's just, you decide. Attitude, effort, response. You decide. You can decide. They got the onside. Okay, cool. Are we going to pout about it or are we going to move on? They're throwing to 19 over the middle. Okay, cool. Are we going to pout about it or are we going to move on? Just going to move on. Offense, first drive. We stunk. Are you going to get better and move on? Yeah, they did. That's sports. That's life. So I was really happy with how our guys handled that.
Last one, and then we'll let you guys go, I promise. Coach, next week, Bethel, another tough matchup for you guys at home. What's your instant reaction as you have a week to prepare now?
Bethel won. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was focused on our game. Not surprising. They're highly ranked. They're really good. Very good head coach. Very well, good It's funny. The officials from our game today were from that league. From what I know of them, from seeing them last year on film against our semifinal opponent, they're what you would expect at this point in the quarterfinals. They do everything well. They're well coached. They play hard for each other. We know nobody's walking in here 2-8. It's going to be really, really good football teams. But respect the program. We're familiar with the program. We've had some pretty wild matchups with them, 2013, 2018. We played up there in 13 in the quarters, and it was -2. The grass was harder than the cement that we're standing on. And then they came here in 18, got us. It's a really good matchup. It's just going to be two really good teams that love to play for their teammates. So it's going to be a lot of fun to prep for that and be able to play them. And for some of us as coaches that were around here in 18, I can promise you we haven't forgotten that game.
Congratulations and good luck next week. Thanks, guys.